FactCheck TV.
We would like to welcome Jasmine Mateen to FactCheck TV. On the morning of November 21st, 2016, Jasmine Mateen, mother of three, would experience one of the most traumatic nightmares of her life. On the early morning of November 21st, Zaira and her two sisters, Jasmine and Zakari, boarded bus number 366, headed to Woodmore Elementary School, just like any other child that morning, without a care in the world, and trusting that the bus driver, Johnthony Walker, would get them to and from their designated stop in a safe manner.
Okay, Jasmine, can you tell us about Zaira?
She turned 7 this year, this January. Well, she'll be 8, January the 10th. She loved school. She loved to sing, dance. She was the life of the party. She was a very funny, silly, outgoing person. She was just there. She was just fat to us. That's what we call her, fat.
Okay, tell us about what happened the morning of November 21st.
Zaira, I got her and let's see, my oldest son up for school. I got her, and then I got my other 3 girls up for school. One of them just wasn't feeling at school that day, so she stayed at home. My son, he went on to school. Zaira, as always, she asked me to fix her edges. She was like, Mama, can you fix my edges? Because they out of control. So, she got the stuff. I fixed her edges. And then she said, thank you, Mama. I love you. I'll see you when I get home from school. I said, I love you too. So, Jasmine, Zakari, and Zaira all went to the bus stop and went to school like any other day. So, I say about 3:24. Yeah, it was 3:24 when I got the phone call. I was leaving out of Sonic parking lot, and where I was in the drive-through at Sonic parking lot first, and I seen a lot of police officers rushing through the Sonic parking lot because Talley Road is right behind Sonic. And I was telling my husband, I was like, what done happened? One of the buses probably done had an accident. And I left on out of the parking lot and pulled up at the house, but I hadn't even put my car in park yet or anything. And I had got a phone call at 3:24 saying, Miss Mateen, you need to get to Talley Road. Your kids just had a real bad bus crash. And my daughter Zakari got on the phone. She said, Mama, we can't find Fat. We can't find Fat. So I just sped up to Talley Road, which is right around the corner from my house. And I know my kids normally get home from school around 3:11 to 3:17 every day. So I get around there, and a block away, I seen the bus. Like, it was flipped over on its side, and another part was wrapped like up on a tree, and it was split in half. So me and my husband started running up there to the scene, and my daughter started running down to me, carrying my other daughter, Jasmine. Zakari started, running down to me carrying Jasmine, and they both crying. Jasmine's shoes was off. They had got knocked off in the bus crash. They was all bloody up. And they was saying, I can't find, the Zakari said, I can't find Fat Fat. I can't find Fat Fat. Jasmine, she said, Fat Fat, I'm sorry, Fat Fat, I'm sorry. Mama, she dead. She stuck between the seat. She went into shock.
Oh my goodness.
So I laid her down and went and got blankets. And then I went up there, pushing police officers because they tried to keep me away. And when I get like to the yellow tape, and all you seen were body parts, blood everywhere, and we looking for my child, but still couldn't find her. So I'm comforting other kids, wrapping them in blankets. And I seen a little girl with the same coat that my daughter had on. Her hair was somewhat similar to my daughter's hair. And I said Fat Fat and snatched her around, but it wasn't Fat Fat.
Oh, wow.
They took me, they told me to go to the hospital, but my first instinct was, because they said that some kids had already been transported to the hospital and to go look at the hospital, but I know that was a lie because she had because the ambulance couldn't even get up through there to even get to the kids, and so my first instinct was to go to the forensics center. And I went to the forensic center, and they wasn't nobody. The man was looking at me, but wouldn't open the door. So I left there and went to the hospital. No, I left there and went to my little sister's job. And all I remember, I jumped out in traffic, cause it's right across the street, somewhat from the forensic center. And I jumped out in traffic and ran. I almost got hit by cars and everything. I'm crying, and my friend had pulled into my sister's job for lunch, and we all rushed up to the hospital. So we looking for him. My daddy, my husband, and Zakari daddy was up at the crash scene with them, and so they comes in the door, and I came out looking for Zahara. As that time went on, they kept on giving us the runaround. So we leave the hospital because they kept on saying that she wasn't there, she wasn't there, she wasn't there. They started saying that kids fell, jumped out of the bus. Some kids flew out of the bus. So I was hoping that she was injured and jumped out the bus and was trying to, find help. And maybe she was laying on the side of the road, or maybe a neighbor had her. So we left, looked in all the hospitals. We started searching the side streets, on the side of the streets and stuff. And we was, trying to find Fat Fat, and we couldn't find her. So we go back to the hospital because the officer said they transported 5 kids to the hospital in his personal car, and they was alive and well. So I gets back to the hospital. I goes upstairs to go check on my other 2 kids, and they my daughter Jasmine, she was 6 at the time. Her and Zahara was both 6, and I asked her what she asked me. She said, "Mama, have you found Fat Fat yet?" I said, "No, baby, we haven't found her yet. We still looking. I came to check on y'all." And she said, "That's because she did. She had on a neck brace and stuff, and then she just, kind of started tearing up." So I went and walked down the hall and started checking on Zaira, and I mean not Zaira, Zakaria, my 10-year-old at the time. And when I went to go check on her, they asked, she asked me, have I found her? And I told her no. I told her no. So she was telling me what happened with the bus driver. What he had said that he asked was they ready to die, that he was speeding, and then he flipped the bus. So I come rushing out the room, storming out the room. I'm mad. So I'm going downstairs. A nurse from the floor told me that they couldn't find me once they found my daughter if I was out walking around. I told her, I said, well, I done sat still. I done walked everywhere. I done looked on the side of the road for my child. Y'all not going to tell me to just sit here and not do nothing. I said, every minute counts.
Absolutely.
So I left and went downstairs. And I asked the lady at the front desk, I said, have the officer came in with those 5 kids? The officers at the scene said that a patrol officer, brought 5 kids here in his personal vehicle, and they was okay. And I want to know, was one of them my daughter? And they was like, and didn't no officer come there with 5 children. So the same nurse, she told me to follow her, that the doctors and stuff wanted to talk to us. So we all walked with them down a long hall. Then we went down another long hall in the medical mall. And when we went in the medical mall, past the medical mall, down another long tunnel hall into this conference room, this big conference room on the other side of the hospital. So we goes in there, and a police officer came in there and was like, is everybody here? I was like, everybody but my husband. They said, well, we'll wait for him or whatever. I said, no, y'all tell me now. I said, I done waited long enough. I go and tell I relay the message to my husband. So they all come in the room, the doctors, the nurses, the police officers, and then here comes a detective and a chaplain. So I came in, and when they came in, I was sitting down. They told me to have a seat. So I sat down, and they asked me what was my daughter wearing. I told them a leopard printed coat. She had some red and pink hair bows in her head. I said she had some khaki pants on, and I couldn't remember what shoes she put on that morning, and I couldn't remember the color shirt she had on. And I said she either got on a maroon shirt or a green shirt. And they said, I'm sorry for your loss, your daughter's dead. And
Just like that?
Yeah, just like that. And I just ran out the room, running up the hall, and a police officer grabbed me and hugged me and was like, I'm sorry, calm down. And, he was like, I give you my condolences. I don't know how you feel, but I can only imagine. So I goes on up to the front, back on the other side of the hospital to the front, finding my husband. I found my husband. And I said, baby, she dead. And he threw his food and just broke down. So then I went to the front desk. I was like, I said, take me to my baby body. Take me to my baby body. I haven't seen her since this morning. Take me to my baby body. And they was like, we don't know what you're talking about. So then Clarissa Mosley gave me a card with a detective name on it and told me to call that number so I can go to forensics. So I called the number, and he met me at forensics. So when I got to forensics, I asked them, can I see my baby? And they told me no, because they did not want me to see her like that. And I told them that that's my baby. I want to see my baby. I haven't seen her since this morning. I want to see my baby. and they said they didn't want me to see her like that.
Oh my God.
So I begged the man, and he finally agreed to take a picture from her neck up. And that's how I was able to see my baby. But my baby had wet tears going down her face. And I didn't pay it no mind at that time. So, and her mouth was open and all that. Like, she was moaning for help. Her eyes, she had the little pitiful eyes. Like, she was looking for me to come and save her because she's so used to me always being there. So when I left there, and I didn't even tell my kids in the hospital at the time because they had bad concussions, injury to the neck, a fractured spine, torn ligaments and muscles in their foot. So I just wanted them to rest. They had already seen enough. So after that,
It's okay, honey. You can take your time.
Please.
my baby's ended up having to stay in the hospital. I stayed up all night holding my husband because he was crying in his sleep. And then the next morning is when I went to the hospital because we were looking for my husband, wallet. And it was like 5 in the morning, and I seen a news crew outside. So as we leave in the hospital, I goes over there and I told them, I said, I want to tell y'all something. This wasn't an accident. I had wrote a letter. I had been calling up there to the school, to transportation. I had been doing everything to prevent this from happening, to get this man off this bus because of how he was neglecting these kids.
How many times has he done this before this time?
He's always sped with the kids. He's always made the kids hit their head, slamming on brakes, making them fall out their seat. He's always been reckless with my kids. My kids came home almost every day complaining about him. How he was cussing at them, how he was smoking on the bus at the first day of school. Like, it was a lot of stuff that was going on that I was complaining about, and it got ignored.
And he was the same driver from the first day of school until the accident?
Yes.
Wow. How many reports have you made?
I can't even keep track. Like, I can't even give you a number. I know I have complained on him over 20 times. I wrote a letter twice, and I made phone calls and going up to the schools, to the Board of Education. I made phone calls to transportation and everything, and a whole lot of times, and nothing happened.
What else do you know about this man that caused the accident?
From people coming to me, telling me how he ain't never had them all, how he always had it out for little kids. He never liked the kids. I done heard so much about him, how he worshiped the devil. I done heard a lot of stuff about him from his former classmates.
Wow. And so when you told the news what happened, what was done after that?
Then news reporters started banging on my door. Lawyers started harassing me. People acting like they lawyers. Fake preachers acting like they lawyers. It was a lot.
There's been people disrespecting your baby's final resting place. Do you know where that's coming from and why?
It's not her resting place. It's a memorial at the school. And they doing that because of them and my kids. They have been going at it since like the summertime because of them disrespecting my daughter's death. So any reaction that any normal reaction from a child is when somebody disrespects their dead sibling. And not only that, they got 2 dead siblings. So that's hard for any child, especially while sitting there and you watch your sister take her last breath. So that's hard for any child. So of course they're gonna react and they're gonna feel some type of way, you know. And that's where it has been coming from.
So has the school provided any type of counseling for the kids or for the children in general, let alone your children?
Yes, it's counselors inside the school. I also have counselors that come to the house as well. So, like, the school been real supportive when it comes to those kids.
Good, good.
And so you still have.
Go ahead, Tanya.
I'm sorry. And you still have them at the same school this year?
They was, but we moved out of town. So now we're not, they're not at that school no more.
Good. So as of today, what's going on with the driver of the bus?
He's out on bond.
Really?
Yes, he's been out since October the 4th.
That just made my mouth dry. So, out on bond. So when, Lord have mercy. So basically, when they arrested him, I do see we read somewhere where the kids said that they saw him with a clear substance or something like that. Do they know if he was under the influence?
Yes, my kids said that they seen him with some clear liquid inside of a bottle, and they said that it looked like liquor. Not only that, some more drivers had told their supervisor that he had been drinking at lunch. He had a drink at lunch, and that he was acting funny and weird that he shouldn't be driving, and said that the supervisor laughed and let him drive anyway.
What?
Yep.
Wow. So basically, they have him out on bond, and are you familiar with what charges they charged him with?
6 counts of vehicular homicide, 1 count of using an electronic device while operating a school bus, and 34 counts of aggravated assault with a vehicle.
And he has a bond.
So right. So how many times have you all been to court since?
Since he been out on bond, or since this done happened?
Since it started, from the beginning.
We done had a whole lot of court hearings. We just recently had one. What was it? A couple of days ago.
And what is your lawyer saying?
None of us agree with him being out on bond, especially for the holidays. All because he want to be out on bond with his child. Well, we don't get the option to be with our kids for the holidays. So why do he get an option to be with his kids for the holidays? How do y'all drop his bond from $150,000 to $50,000? I mean, yeah, $50,000, which you only got to pay 10% of that is $5,000 to get out. Like, I know when I went to jail on an aggravated assault, one aggravated assault charge was a $60,000 bond, which was $6,000 to get out.
Right. You've taken 6 kids' lives and you get to walk the streets for a $5,000 bond.
That's not fair. It's not fair to us. It's not fair to the 6 kids who lost their life. It's just not fair, period. Drug dealers get way more time than than him, it seems like they get a no bun. Or they get a bun so high that they can't make.
Exactly. Something that they usually set the bond for something that they know they wouldn't be able to bond out, but $5,000 sounds like a slap on the wrist. For $5,000 can't even compare to 6 children's lives. Exactly. So are there any community activists that are trying to stop this or go against his bond or anything like that in the local neighborhood?
No.
So no activists have stand up to help at this point?
No. The only thing that done happened in this community is I did a march. I got petitions signed to get private contractors. So at least in District 5, we got private contractor drivers.
Oh, good.
Because they had re-signed with Durham. The school board had re-signed the contract with Durham to use their bus services.
Wow. So has anybody ever been able to, because I do see at one point, I did see where he did get into a bus accident. And I want to say,
like 2 months before that.
Yeah, I was going to say it was shortly before.
Sideswiped the car. Us parents never knew anything about that.
And there was never any type of suspension or anything?
Never.
So if there was
the help that they said that they had for us, the resources that they said they had for us, nobody is there. After 2 months after the bus crash happened, everybody disappeared.
Well, I definitely want to let you know that FactCheck TV, if you need anything from us, we're definitely here. I would like to look and see if we can get some type of a community activist or an activist that would be able to step up to at least be able to assist you guys. As well as, I know this happened a year and a month ago. However, we would like to bring awareness to it, to the situation, because I think we all just got a little stunned because we were not even aware that he was out on bond. We're all thinking that he's incarcerated. So that's a
he's out on bond. He walked in and out of that courtroom the other day like the rest of us. Like, I didn't go that day because of the fact that I just can't stomach him walking in and walking out like I do.
Right. How has this affected you as a mother and your husband and the kids?
We always constantly talking about Fat. I constantly cry. I cry almost every day. My daughter's ass, man, they was 9 months apart. They was each other's best friends. So it really affected her a lot because that was her lifetime friend, her best friend. And she don't have that no more. And my other 2 girls are older than her. So it's like she don't have, nobody to play with like that no more because they're not into the same things that she's into.
Yeah.
So she's sad all the time. Oh, I wish Fat was still here. She'll do this with me. Or, it's always something that she always saying something to remind herself of Fat absence.
Yeah. What message can you give to other mothers and families going through this tragedy?
It gets hard, especially around the holidays and their birthdays. But in able to get through it, you're going to always have to remember their names. Always keep their names going. Celebrate everything. I don't care if it's just releasing balloons for them for the holidays or candlelights for the holidays. Just always keep their name alive.
Absolutely.
And it also helps to talk to other parents in the same situation.
Have you started a support group or anything like that for the other parents or other parents going through what you're going through?
No, I haven't started a support group, but I have found myself talking to a lot of parents on Facebook who done lost kids. And and they come to me and ask me all the time, how do you do it? How do you keep going on? You're so strong. You give me life. You motivate me. You give me strength. But little do they know, I have my weak point. I have my lowest days. I cry like they cry. It's
Can I
human
ask you
nature
a
to cry.
question?
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to ask you, as a mother, what would you like to see done as far as justice is concerned? This is FactCheck's mother, and I remember so vividly when this story made breaking news. I'll never forget the day I was laying in my bed and I was utterly devastated by it, and I did not realize, because it a year later, isn't this like the 1-year anniversary?
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember seeing the story on the news, and I can remember your story where they were saying that you as a parent had made numerous complaints in regards to this bus driver and his behavior, and that absolutely nothing had been done to rectify it. And I'm just wondering, as a mother, what would you like to see done as far as this individual is concerned? Because I just heard you say he was being allowed to be out on bail.
Jasmine?
Because I don't know if she can hear me, because hold on.
Can you hear me?
Jasmine? Yeah, oh,
Yes.
there you are.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. Me as a mother, what I want to see done, I want to see him back in jail, and I want him to get the accurate time that he needs. I don't want him to get time for these kids and they run it consecutively. These were 6 innocent kids. They were 6 separate kids. So I feel like he should be charged, well, which he is, but I feel like he should do time for all 6 kids individually, and not ran consecutive. And for that company, I feel like they should be shut down. Every week it's a Durham bus crash where kids is getting either injured or dying.
Wow. Yeah, I remember so well when the story broke about your children and the other kids on the bus, and I didn't realize that a year later that that you were still going through what you were going through. So I know that we here at FactCheck TV want to do anything and everything that we can to support you, to get your voice heard out there, because you deserve it. Your babies, all of your babies, God rest your baby soul that's gone, but your other babies that were on the bus with her, all of you all need justice. And I don't think that what they're doing right now rectifies justice to me. It just doesn't. I've never known anyone to be able to commit this kind of crime and be able to get out of jail on
Me neither. I feel like they are protecting him. I feel like they are being real lenient with him.
Right. And it almost sounds like another cover-up for a cover-up. I hate to say it like that, but
I've been saying it.
Yeah, we got to go lenient with him in order to cover up us, and the mistakes we made, and the fact that we didn't acknowledge this mother when she was making complaints. And because like I said, I remember your story. I remember reading about the multiple complaints you had made against this individual and his behavior on the bus and the way he treated the kids. So it stands out very, very vividly in my mind. And I just want to let you know that my heart is with you. And like I said, we here at FactCheck TV are going to do everything in our power to help you get the justice that I feel not only you, but the rest of the children that was on that bus's parents deserve.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. We know it's really hard to relive this situation over and over again, but we really wanted to, when we saw your story, you know, like Jasmine and Mama J said, we wanted to bring awareness to what you're going through. So we really appreciate it.
Thank y'all for having me and listening to me. It's like, because everybody's covering it up. It's like they sweeping it up under the rug. These kids' lives existed, and it's like they trying to make it to where like they didn't exist.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
So Jasmine, what I'd like
But
to
we're
do
definitely
what I would like to do is we definitely want to keep in touch with you. Like I said, we're going to reach out to a few people. Give us a couple of days. And I believe Tanya has your telephone number, so I'll have Tanya call you, or I'll call you myself. So we can set something up, maybe get some people out there just to be a support for you. But we'll definitely contact you in about a week once we make some phone calls for you, okay?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Please, you guys, give the kids kisses and hugs for us.
I will do.
Okay, bye-bye.
thank you. Happy New Year's.